Hey guys, welcome to class. This is Brian with BAM Anxiety. If you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification button so you guys know when I have new videos coming out every day. So I had a very interesting comment the other day that when I teach, it's almost like people think I'm dyslexic. And it's because of how I think when it comes to my reasoning. I have a very inductive reasoning where I take a grand idea and then I use very specific topics for it. Deductive is the opposite, where we take the small things and we build up. So that's why it may be confusing, but I will simplify it from here on as we build up to the grand theory that we had with the coronavirus videos. Now, what I want to look at is focus. Focus is going to be one of the most important things when it comes to 1, our anxiety, 2, how we interpret the world, and then 3, how we feel about ourselves. Because if we're not present, we're going to fall into the same loop that we usually do, which is thoughts and feelings influence our actions, actions influence our results, belief systems are created. So if you guys watch the coronavirus, part 1 and part 2, you will see that we have belief systems due to the fact of how we have found different ways to survive in the world. Belief systems are BS. They're exactly what they look like. They're not really real. They're just a system that has been imposed to create a facilitation for our lives. We need to be able to cut the reaction from here, from the stimulus, because if not, then it becomes a reaction, which gives us poor results. Now, let's look at how stimulus works. We have the information received and interpreted, present, and then a desired future. So information comes in, we experience it, we have an interpreted present moment where we have to stay present, have the ability to look at possibility, change, abstract systems, and have the emotional neutrality. Or we look at the desired future, where we're trying to calculate everything. This makes it very difficult because we have to actually have the ability to have something to compare it to. This can mean anything, because it could be value, it could be threats, promise, satisfaction, and even punishment. If something does not match any of these, it becomes a mismatch. And we will have to choose one of these things according to that. What is the closest thing that this looks like? So if we see a rope and we're scared of snakes because of our past experience, this mismatch will allow us to categorize it either from satisfaction or to threat or even punishment. So how we interpret things from the information that is received from us to us, we will derive meaning from it and create a belief system. Now, the most important thing to understand is that being present is understanding that you are the driver of your car. You sit in your car, you drive a manual, and you have the ability to shift. You can go forward, you can go back, you can go left, you can go right. As we look at the different types, we have a visual foreground, and then we have a distorted background. So we have a foreground, we have a background, almost as if you were doing art and they told you to put things in the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. This is how we perceive the world. We perceive it from a first person, second person, and third person perspective. As we look at first person, a more tunnel vision, scope, lens, zoomed in, we don't see anything outside of the world. We only see what we see, and that is a narrow focus of what we have in front of us. When we are having the dispersed background, it's almost like we're relaxing or we're listening to something, we're aware of something in the background. It's almost like a buzzing or a sound, a rock band at a bar. This is the diffused, immersed, and objective. So, visual foreground, distorted background. Immersed and objective is how we feel in the moment. Immersed is we're feeling all the emotions. Objective is when we're separating ourselves from the emotions. So diffused objective is pretty similar to rock band in the background. Narrow objective is fight or flight. Narrow immersed is similar to getting stuck in thought. And then immersed, diffused is the same thing as meditation and sleep. So this is rest, this is fight or flight, our parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. Now let's look at some exercises that we can look at. Narrow, objective focus. Think about someone that you dislike. Look at yourself in the mirror if you like, or you can just do it as you're just out and about. And just focus as if you're gonna fight someone. And it's almost as if the peripheral vision gets closed off because all you're seeing is the tunnel. Very similar to a lion. After he sees the whole Sahara, he hones in on one gazelle to chase. Objective diffused, same thing. It's almost like a background sound. This is where we're supposed to be at when it comes to being able to release emotionally. It takes time, obviously, but you can understand that there's a sound or there's an object in the background of the difference from the foreground to the background. Thinking, same thing, right? You're immersed, so that means that you're feeling everything. It's almost like a deep massage. It's almost similar to sex. You're so immersed into it that you're feeling everything that you're thinking or that you're experiencing. This is what narrow immersed is. And then finally we have the very relaxed, let me feel my body, but I'm not attached to the thoughts or the feelings. It allows me to relax, then I get into sleep. It's almost like vegging out. It's almost like that moment where you're trying to relax and decompress before you go to school, before you go to class, before you go to sleep, and then you can go to class. So now we can shift forward, we can shift back, we can shift to the left, we can shift to the right. Just know that you are always in the center of your car, and that will allow you to interpret things easily, right? Because we have our different minds, and how we can create the experience and feel it even more is through our psychological, emotional, and physical. Emotional, we can do emotional releasing over here, which is our diffuse objective. The physical, which is the vipassana meditation. Think, right? You're immersed into it. It's almost like a massage. You're allowing yourself to feel the sensations in your body. And then we have the psychological, which is the thoughts, which is the meditation. And that is just transcendent meditation. So, as you have created little small exercises for you to do every day as you're creating the focus, you can also do different types of meditations that allow you to immerse yourself and build that muscle. So presence, where's presence? Presence. Is this person right here that allows you to see your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions as you are trying to interpret the information that you're going through. So we will have two types of journaling, the yin and the yang. Wins, love, gratitude, brain, dump. Yangs. similar to shadow work. So why don't I love myself? Self-love deficiency. What is my shadow in the dream journal? So yin is your positive side. Yang would be the contrast. We don't look at things from the negative perspective. We want to be able to balance it out and seeing things for what they are rather than what we are perceiving them as. Wins, why was today good? How is tomorrow going to be better? What did I do? Why am I so proud of myself? What were my desires? Did I achieve my desires? Love and gratitude. Love is basically allowing yourself to maybe do something, an exercise, join a class, allow yourself to socialize, hike, and then give gratitude of things that you are grateful for. List maybe 3 or 4 things that you want and do that before you go to sleep to have that energy as you are working the problems as you're sleeping. Then brain dump. Brain dump will be as you're going through your day. You can maybe buy a small journal that you can purchase at Walmart. They have like a pack of 3, and then just write things that kind of come up and then what you're feeling. Basically is the thoughts and the feeling, and then you go back and then we will elaborate what we were actually feeling, because we want to be able to feel our feelings, especially if we haven't been able to understand them, because they're going to help us, especially as we're developing to the higher levels. Yang. Why don't I love myself? You want to ask yourself 5 whys and get to the root cause of whatever it is that is bothering you at the moment. If you're not happy right now, you're going to be able to get to the core and understand why. So I want to be able to present myself to the world in a professional manner. Why? Because I care what people think. Why? I feel as though if I present myself in a way that people can receive me, then I can get my point across and I can help people. I don't want to help people because it's part of me. And then once I get to that point, I can basically say it's my purpose. So we get to the root cause, and sometimes it could be either a problem or a good thing, but we need to figure it out. So we have to dig deep. Shadows. So the non-absolutes. Sometimes we actually identify with the feelings that we have, and we want to be able to create the separation. We want to say, I'm mad, or I'm sad. You want to be able to create the feeling separation from right here, right? There's a created reaction because there is no space between the stimulus and the reaction. If there's a space, then it becomes action and it gives us positive results. So being able to have the shadow work allows us to create a space as we're saying, I'm not a sad man, I'm a man feeling sad. Sometimes I feel like this occurs when I'm in this situation because X, because Y, and that will allow you to understand, oh, maybe it was a childhood thing, maybe it was a point in my adolescence that I really misinterpreted what was going on and I derived meaning from it and I thought I was a loser for the longest time. Finally, dream journal. You want to be able to get in the process of feeling your dreams, because, not feeling your dreams, but you're going to feel your dreams, being aware of your dreams. Because we're going to practice how to be lucid. We want to be able to wake up in our dream to do that in real life. This is the point of self-realization that we'll get to, and once we get to that point, it will feel the same way. You'll be very surprised and astounded of how we can move in the world as if we're moving in a dream. It's very fascinating. I've done lucid dreaming for a couple of years, and it's always by accident. For some reason, I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I can't be that ugly. There's no way. And then I'm like, oh, I'm sleeping. Like I'm dreaming. Being able to know and recall your dreams will allow you to go into your dreams with the awareness that you want, which is the focus. We want to be able to hit the different states from our different levels. If you saw the coronavirus, part 1 and part 2, specifically part 2, where we're looking at the people that you're looking forward to and towards to when it comes to information. You want to be able to understand what are their experiences as we go through the different states. Being able to be present allows you to make sound decisions, conscious action, gives you good results, and then allows you to break the BS, the belief systems that do not give you the true and like the truth, because we're looking at our thoughts and our feelings. So that's all for today. That was focus, guys. Again, we do have the ability to practice our focus as we are going through the exercises. Do the meditation that allows us to feel these parts of our brain. So the emotional releasing, which is our heart, our thoughts, which is transcendent, then our bodies when it comes to Vipassana meditation. So I'm out and about what I just talked about. Peace.